Welcome back everyone to another Day Zero build for Origins of Power, and today we have the final Ackerman, Mikasa Ackerman Protective Friend. I will admit, this is one of the characters that gave me a bit of trouble, because she doesn't really have too much support for her gimmick, but let's see what I came up with. We have Mikasa Ackerman, of course, 6 hand size, 30 health character, air and life for her symbols, and the Survey Core trait. She has Enhance, reveal 2 weapon cards from your hand. This attack gets +2 or -2 speed. So, fix that. So this means you just show any 2 cards in your hand that have the weapon keyword, be it Foundation, Attack, whatever, and you get +2 or -2 speed on the attack. Now the problem with this is you are giving away information to your rival. You are telling them, hey, here's 2 of my block zones if you're using it defensively, or hey, here's 2 attacks that I'm going to be throwing at you so you can figure out, what you can afford to take and what you can't. So it is kind of giving the game away a little bit, but it still has its own things. And then she has a response: after your attack deals damage to a character, reveal the top card of your deck. If it is a weapon card, add it to your hand. So kind of the Genkai treatment but instead of just picking up an attack, it's any weapon card. So even Foundations can be drawn from the top of your deck here. So, if you get an attack off the top of the deck, pretty good. If you get a weapon Foundation, well, you might have just lost a bad check, but you do have another weapon you can show your rival. Let's start with our attacks. We have Survey Core's Teamwork. It's a 5/3, 5 mid for 5 with a 2 mid block, charge, and weapon keywords. All of my attacks are going to have the weapons keyword, except for, I think, 1. It has Blitz. Your next 2 attacks this turn get +1 speed and +2 damage, and for each of those attacks you may change its zone after you play it. So this can kind of help with your information sharing problem. If you show 2 high attacks to your rival to give this 2 speed, well then when you play one of those high attacks you can make it a low, and it'll get 1 speed and 2 damage. Or you can make it a mid. So this kind of helps change things up to where the information you're giving your opponent isn't necessarily what you're actually going to do. And I think that helps. It also gives you some speed and some damage. It can be pretty cool. Next we have Sword Advantage. This is a 3/3, 2 mid for 4, 1 low block. And as a static, it says after you reveal it in your hand during the enhanced step, your attack gets +1 damage. So if you show this with Mikasa's ability, you get +2 speed and +1 damage. So kind of an inverse of Survey Core's Teamwork. Which could be cool, because then if you combo this with Survey Core's Teamwork, you can effectively be giving 3/3 between the 2 speed, 1 speed, 2 damage, 1 damage. It's a little bit of a combo piece, but it could help. And as a Blitz, after you play this card, you get to reveal the top card of your deck. You may discard it. So if you see that it's a weapon attack, and you're pretty sure this is going to deal damage, you can just leave it, and after it deals damage to your character, you can just draw that top card of your deck. Or if you're pretty sure your rival's going to block it, you can just discard it from the top of your deck. Next we have Blindside Slash, a 4/3, 3 high for 4 with a 1 low block, stun 1 and weapon. As a Blitz, if this attack is completely blocked, it still deals 1 damage during the damage step. So, doesn't matter if it's full blocked, it's still going to deal 1, and that will trigger Mikasa's response. So, really good card for her. Obviously, it's got her face on it. And then response, discard 1 card. At the start of your end phase, you can add this card to your hand. So that is a weapon that you now have in your hand to show your rival for -2 speed on their attacks. So, really good, solid card for her. If it gets the speed bonus, it's a 5 high 4, which isn't too bad. It's pretty decent for a 4 diff, but it's mainly here for constantly doing damage and the fact that you can constantly recur it to your hand. We have Positional Advantage. This is a 6/3, 7 mid for 6 with a 2 mid block, Fury and weapon. Blitz, if this is the only attack in your card pool, your rival adds 1 Foundation from their stage to their hand. So you get to debuild them a little bit if this is the first attack you play. And as a Blitz, also, this attack is +1 damage for each card in your rival's hand. I mainly put this in here so that you can reveal 2 weapons and make this a 9 speed move, while debuilding your rival, while gaining a bunch of damage on its own. So it's just kind of in here for a little bit of disruption and a very fast, very strong move that you can throw. Next we have Mikasa's Flying Knee Strike, a 4/3, 5 high for 4 with a 2 mid block. Breaker 2, Charge and Kick. I love that Breaker 2 keyword. As a blitz, discard 1 card. This attack gets +3 damage, so it becomes a 5 high for 7. Really good on a 4 diff, but then if we also reveal 2 weapons, it's a 7 high for 7. 7 high for 7 on a 4 diff is really good stats. And as a deadlock blitz, your rival cannot block it with high blocks. So they have to take a partial or a full damage attack, which is really good when we're trying to check the top cards of our deck. And last, Fiery Dagger Flourish. This is a 4/3, 4 mid for 4, 2 high block, ranged in weapon. Enhance, if this attack deals damage, we get to destroy 1 committed rival foundation. So again, debuilding our rival a little. This could wear the stats for Survey Corps Teamwork very well and change its zone from mid. As well as just, hey, it's only 4 damage, but we're going to make this a 6 mid 4 with Mikasa. You know, do you really want to waste a whole bunch of stuff on 4 damage and just let me take that committed foundation away from you? Or do you want to, you know, stop me from checking the top card of my deck? Kind of a bit of a mind game to play with your rival. It's not really too great, but it's here, and I'll be honest, running out of options. Next we have Tattered Costume. We're moving into our assets. 2/5, 2 mid block. Response, sacrifice after your rival plays an ability on an action card or a keyword ability on an attack card. Cancel that ability, draw 1 card. We like drawing cards because we want to reveal as many... We usually want to keep revealing the same 2 cards so our rival doesn't get extra information. So any additional cards we can get into our hand, the more the better. We have Vertical Maneuvering Equipment, a 2/5, 1 mid block. Enhance, spend a momentum. This attack gets +3 or -3 speed, and we can change its zone. We're probably using this mainly defensively, so that we don't have to show our rival the block zones that we have. And then we can change the zone to match whatever block zones we need. And Enhance, we can commit for an additional +2 damage if we need. Lastly, Cape of No Return, a 3/4, 3 high block. Enhance, remove this attack from the game, just get rid of it, don't have to worry about it. Moving on to foundations. We have Jump into Action. This is a 2/6 with a 2 mid block and the weapon keyword, so we can reveal this in our hand for Mikasa. And as an enhance, we get to add this card to our hand from our stage and build 1 card from our hand face down, so it replaces itself, and our attack gets +2 damage. So our attack gets 2 damage, it replaces itself so we don't lose a foundation, and we can reveal this weapon card in our hand for +2 speed. So 2 speed and 2 damage, pretty alright for this, and it's got a 6 check, which is really good. Next we have Survey Corps Elite, 2/5, 3 mid block, and the weapon keyword. As a static, after this card is revealed from your hand during the enhance step, your attack gets +1 speed. So we can reveal this and Sword Advantage to get +1 speed and +1 damage. So turning our Mikasa Enhance into a +3/+1, which also wears really well with Survey Corps Teamwork's +1/+2, so it becomes a +4/+3 on the second and third attacks. So really stacking those stats really well. And as an enhance, we can spend 1 momentum, add this card to our hand. So if we need to, we can just get rid of a momentum, put this in our hand, reveal for + or - speed, and keep going from there. Next we have Making Preparations, a 2/5, 3 low block, another weapon foundation. Response, commit after our attack gets a speed bonus, like Mikasa's +2 speed. It also gets +3 damage, so 2 speed, 3 damage. Really good rate on any attack. Any of our attacks wants to wear that really well. We have Rifle Arm, 2/5, 3 low block, weapon keyword. Enhance, commit if this attack gets +2 or -2 speed, and if it's the only attack in its owner's card pool, it gets +3 or -3 speed instead. Really good offensively or defensively, and it's a weapon, so it fits our overall theme. We have Banshee Sword Shriek, a 0/5 with a 3 mid block and the weapon keyword. Response, flip after a weapon attack is played, it gets +2 or -1 damage. So a little bit of extra damage buff to really push our attacks over the edge if we're getting into a later string where our rival can't block us anymore. Levi's Relentless Spirit, a 3/4, 4 mid block. Response, tenacious or playable while committed. After your attack deals damage to a character, ready this card. If this is the third or greater time you have played this ability this turn, we have to flip this card. So you only really want to ready it twice unless you absolutely need to ready it that third time, just to keep your strings going. And it's got a deadlock enhance. Your attack is +1 speed and +1 damage. So if you're pushing them into deadlock, you get extra stats for free. Next we have Defend the City at 2/6 with a 1 high block. Really good stats there. Response Tenacious. After you flip this card, after you commit any number of cards due to a rival effect, build the top card of your deck face down. So it's kind of like it can't be fixed in where it can basically cancel stun 1 because you're building a card in ready. Next we have Creative Counter. So this is a 1/5 with a 2 low block. Response Flip. After you block with a foundation with a keyword, build it. We have a lot of weapon foundations, some that can put themselves back into our hand, so if we need to, we can reveal it for -2 speed, block with it, build it, and then on our next turn, put it back in our hand for +2 damage, and we can reveal it for +2 speed. So I felt like Creative Counter was a very good defensive piece here. Next we have Chase Down, 2/5, 3 high block, enhance flip. Your attack with a speed of 6 or greater gets +2 damage. With our +2 speed from Mikasa, almost all of our attacks will have 6 speed or greater. Excuse me. Sorry, headphone users. So it's just extra damage on top of speeding up our attacks. Next we have Mikasa defeats the female Titan, 2/4, 3 low block, excuse me. Response Flip. After we block an attack, it deals no damage. This works well combined with our speed hate on face. We have Uplifting Bond, a 3/5, 3 high block. Response once per turn. After you play an attack, gain 1 health. If that attack deals damage, it does not count towards progressive difficulty this turn. So this is good, especially with Blindside Slash, because it is going to always deal damage, and it'll just it won't count towards progressive difficulty, and you gain a little bit of health. So it might only be a one-of, but it's one of those spicy one-ofs that could actually pull a lot of weight. Next we have Moth Monster, a 2/6 with a 2 high block. We got quite a few 6 checks in here because we want to string out a little bit. Enhanced Commit. This attack gets -2 speed, but if we've taken damage from a rival attack, it gets -3 speed instead. So some really good speed hate there. Personal Reload, a 1/5 with a 3 high block. First Enhance, flip, discard 1 card. There's your cost. You have to flip it and discard a card. Draw 1 card. Your ranged or weapon attack gets +1 speed. So all of our attacks can benefit from this, and we get a bit of cycle draw to try to draw more weapon cards. Pressured by 1 for All, a 2/4 with a 1 mid block and the unique keyword. So another good card that we can build with Creative Counter because it's got the keyword unique. Enhance, destroy 2 foundations. Your ranged or weapon attack gets +3 damage. So when we've exhausted our rival's resources, we can just start loading up on that damage while we're giving speed to our attacks with our character. Defensively, we have Cheerleader, a 2/5 with a 3 mid block. It's got a Hagakure first form. We are not Hagakure. But we do have the response, remove and spend 1 momentum. After an attack is played, it gains Flash. So Flash means the entire enhanced step is skipped. So even your rival's Blitz abilities won't activate, which is really good considering some of these really strong Blitz abilities we've got coming out. And it just prevents your rival from using a whole bunch of weird enhances to make something unblockable or ungodly powerful. Looking at you, Smiling Titan, because you're still around even though you got eroded. Next we have Crowd's Darling, a 2/5 with a 2 mid block. As a first form, which is the first thing we do after we draw our cards for the turn, spend 1 momentum. Your checks to play weapon attacks get +1 for the rest of the turn. So if we're going to be stringing out, that +1 is going to go an extra... that +1 on every check that we make to play an attack will go a long way. And as an enhanced commit, if your attack deals damage, we get to add the top card of our deck to our momentum. So that's pretty cool. And lastly, we have Nice Try, a 2/5, 3 low block with the taunt keyword. Again, we can build this with Creative Counter because it has taunt. Enhanced Commit, this attack gets -2 speed. Response, after your rival's combat phase begins, we get to ready this foundation, and that's playable while committed. It is a tenacious response. So we can commit it on our turn to pass checks, and then it readies up on our rival's turn. But that is going to be the basics for Mikasa Ackerman Protective Friend. Do I think she's good? I think if you put enough thought into her, she could be. Maybe especially down the line when we get more weapon cards and maybe some better attacks to work off of these two symbols, life and air. I know My Hero Set 1 had some really good life attacks that had a weapon from Momo Yaoyorozu and Naval Laser Boy. Aoyama. They had some pretty good weapon attacks that could really push through on the life symbol. On air, I think we had some Jiro stuff, but she was mainly charge. So I think if you put enough thought into her, she could really be a fun locals deck. I don't see her doing anything too big competitively right now, though. But what do I know? I'm just a hermit up here on my mountain playing with cards. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, please leave it a like and consider subscribing if you haven't already. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one. See you guys.